Hey there, my YouTube friends and family. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, folks, today we're going to be doing some Super Bowl foods. Yes, indeed, gearing up for the big game. So, folks, today we're going to be doing some beef plate ribs, those dino ribs. We're going to be doing some teriyaki chicken wings. We're going to be doing some shotgun shells. Very good recipe. And we're also going to do a little sweet side. We're going to do some pecan squares. Now, what do all these have in common? What's going to be in common is everything is going to be cooked with smoking pecan products. Yes, indeed. The meat that we're preparing on the grill and the smoker, they're going to be prepared with the smoking pecan pellets. These pellets are amazing. They provide a great smoky flavor. They provide good long heat. They last a long time. And folk, and one other thing, they're made right here in the USA. And also, we're going to be, for the pecan squares, we're going to be using their pecan halves. The pecans are so fresh, so wonderful, texture is great. And then we're going to be using those in the pecan squares. So, folks, I'm going to leave a link to their website in my description. Check them out. You will not be disappointed. So once I get my ingredients together for these plate ribs, I'll bring you back. All right, folks, I'm back. As you can see, I got my beef plate ribs here. I got them trimmed up. I'm going to take that fat, use it as tallow. I got a little W sauce on here for a slather. And in here, I have my own SPG mixture. It's 50-50 coarse pepper, salt, and a little garlic to give me that SPG. So, folks, sometimes it's better off, you just better off just to make your own. So we're just going to give this a good old coating. Yes, this is going to be closer to Texas style with this season here. Get that all coated up, folks. Mm-hmm. We're going to get the sides. Mm-hmm. Ends. We eat that too. The other side. Oh man, this is going to be so good. I'm going to throw a little on the back. I just like to season everything. It's probably not going to stick because of that membrane. Now on the beef ribs, I leave the membrane on. It helps hold the bones together. There's also a good amount of fat under there that's going to help to seal in the juices on these beef back ribs while they cook. So, folks, I'm going to let that sit and pat in and soak in a little bit, 15, 20 minutes. And once that's done, we're going to get her on the smoker. All right, folks. We got them on that smoker. Look at those smoking pecan pellets smoke, folks. I'm telling you, try them out. You will not be disappointed. So we're going to shut the lid on here and then give it about 2 hours at least before we even take a peek. So, folks, just hold tight and we'll bring you back. All right, folks. Hey, I'm back. While we got them beef ribs on, we're gonna go and get our manicotti shells prepared for our shotgun shells. You see these shells? They're hollow, nice big shell. This consists of our shotgun shell. In here, I got a pound of sweet Italian sausage, pound of ground beef, block of cream cheese, some shredded Mexican blend cheese, and some Meat Church Honey Hog barbecue seasoning. So what I'm gonna do, just gonna show you how we're gonna fill one of these up. You just take your time, stuff this in the shell, try not to break it. I'm just gonna show you like one. You get the gist. We just keep packing until you get it all filled up. And I'm not gonna sit here and bore you with doing all of these. You can either continue to try to push from one end, or once you get in here like halfway through, you can flip it around and come from the other side, making sure that you get the meat all the way down to where meat meets in the middle, so that you don't have a hollow spot when you get done cooking. And you want that meat all the way to the end. And I can see it pushing back on this side. So that lets me know that it's all full. I'm just going to pack this in a little bit so that we got a nice full piece of pasta. And then once I get all these packed, get them ready, I'll show you the next step. All right, folks, you can see we're back. We got all our manicotti stuffed. And what we're going to do, we got some bacon. And we're going to get the regular thin sliced bacon because it will cook better than thick bacon. And we're going to take each one of these and we're going to wrap it in this bacon. Now, what you want to do is you want to make sure you get your whole shell covered with this bacon. Because what this bacon is going to do is going to help moisturize this pasta so it'll be a nice tender bite when you eat it. So as you can see, we got that wrapped. I'll do one more. As you can see, we get it wrapped. Stretch it a little bit, wrap it. Stretch it a little bit, wrap it. Stretch it a little bit. Sit it down. That's all to it. Once we get all of these wrapped up, I'll come back and show you the final step before we put them down for a little rest before we cook them. All right, hold tight. All right, folks, I'm back. As you can see, I got most of them wrapped up with that one pack of bacon. I got these to wrap. Instead of opening another whole pack, I had some thick bacon in the fridge that need to get used up. So I'm going to wrap these few. As you can see how that thick bacon just don't stretch enough, and see how that thick bacon, it just don't stretch enough to go around like that thinner bacon. But hey, we're going to make it do what it does. Just on these few. Finished getting them wrapped. As you can see, I mean, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. This would be a test to see if there's a major difference in the two as well. So I'm going to try to stretch this bacon a little bit before I put it around. See if that helped any. Okay. That helped a little bit. Yeah, that helped a little. But I just don't think this thick bacon is going to get as good and crisp as this thin bacon. Yep. And all of these recipes that we're doing today, if you want full recipes of them, put it in the comments. And that I can do full recipes on each individual item. Now I'm going to take some of those Meat Church Honey Hog barbecue seasoning, and we're going to sprinkle. Yes, indeed. We're going to get them all coated with this seasoning. It's a little bit of this seasoning inside the meat as well. Mm-hmm. Now that we got some of the seasoning on all of them, what I'm going to do, they're going to go in the refrigerator and sit for about 4 hours. Now, the reason we're going to put them in the fridge, that pasta's hard. The moisture from the meat inside and the moisture from the bacon over that time is going to soften that pasta up while it's resting in there waiting to cook. So that'll help soften that pasta so that when it's cooked, you won't have a crunchy bite. You'll have more of a soft, consistent chew. So, folk, here in a minute, I'm going to get that teriyaki sauce together for those wings. So when I get all that straight, I'll bring you back. Hey, folks, we're back out here with those beef plate ribs. Look at that, folks. First time we looked at them since we put them on about 3 hours ago. Man, that bone is starting to pull back. That color is great. I got that fat in there rendering down, which I'm going to pour in this glass to get that liquid gold beef tallow. And we're going to use that a little later when we go to rest these ribs. So as you can see, they got a little ways to go still. And I'm going to shut this back up so she can keep on cooking. So hold tight. All right, folk, I'm back. This teriyaki sauce has come to cool down to room temperature. I put it in a pot, come to a boil, let it simmer for 10 minutes, and then let it cool all the way down on its own for those flavors to develop inside the marinade. So I'm just going to pour this marinade over those wings. And I'm going to get me a glove. Should have had my glove on to start with, but hey, we're cooking for real, folk. We're cooking for real. Got that marinade in there. So now I'm just going to work those wings all in that marinade. Ooh, that looks good. We're going to work that all in there. We're going to get a lid on it, put it in the refrigerator, and let it marinate at least 3 hours while we're waiting for all these recipes to come together. So, folk, once I get ready to start making those pecan squares, I'll bring you back. All right, folk, I'm back. Hey, folk, in this bowl here, I got 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2/3 cup of confectioner sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 12 tablespoons, sticks. Wow, that'd be a little too much. 12 tablespoons of unsalted butter, melted, poured in, stirred, mixed with a whisk and a fork till we get to this crumbly consistency. Now, what we're going to do, I got a 9x13 baking pan with some parchment paper in it. I'm going to pour this mixture in there. And the reason for the parchment paper, to help you get the pecan squares out once they're done. Hey, look, we're cooking for real and things happen. So we're going to get this replaced, spread out again, and we're going to get our parchment spread out evenly a little bit again. May not be the prettiest job, but hey, you get the gist. This is how this is going to work. Get this spread out, this nice buttery crust. Now, you can either take your hand and mash it down to create this bottom layer, or you can use a flat surface. But today, I'm just going to use the back of my hand to spread this out evenly to form this crust. Then once I get this spread out evenly, I'm going to put it in the oven and par bake for about 10 minutes. Because if you don't, then you won't have a crispy crust at the bottom of your pecan squares. You'll have a mushy crust. While we put together our pecan filling, we'll pre-bake this for about 10 minutes at 350. So, folk, as I finish this up, I'll bring you back once I get the other process started. Hold tight. All right, folk, I'm back. As you can see, I got some ingredients in this bowl here. And in this bowl, I got 2/3 cups of brown sugar. I got 1 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 cup of dark Karo syrup, 4 large eggs, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, and this right here is 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. I'm going to put in later. I don't want to put it in while I'm mixing because it's going to develop gluten and I don't want it to get that thick. And over here, I've got 2 cups of these amazing smoking pecan halves. While I was making my crust, I had them on a cookie sheet roasting in the oven for about 10, 12 minutes. Then I took them out, gave them a rough chop, and that's what they look like now. How they smell when they're warmed up, oh my goodness. And that's going to help release those flavors into this pecan pie filling. So what we're going to do now, get all of this mixed up together. Once I get all this mixed together, I'm going to put the pecans in. And then once I get the pecans in, I'm going to put this flour in there, sprinkle it in slowly. So now as not to make it too glutinous as I mix it, not to over mix it. So I'm just trying to get all of this incorporated, all of the sugars mixed together. Oh yeah, get those eggs mixed in real good. Yes, indeed. Oh yeah. I think that's mixed in nicely. Now we're going to put those amazing smoking pecans in there. Got pellets on the mind. It's a smoking pecan kind of day, folks. Get that all mixed in. Oh, the smell from those warm pecans hitting those flavors that's in here now. Wow. I can tell you now, this is going to be delicious. I already know. Got that mixed in. So now we're going to just sprinkle in this 1/3 cup of flour just to help give it that body that we need. Like I said, we're not going to make this real stirred in real heavily. We're just going to get it mixed in until it's well incorporated. And folks, I'm going to continue to mix this in. Once I get it all mixed in, then we'll bring you back and show you the pour in the pan. All right, folks, I'm back. We got that shortbread crust all pre-baked. Now we're going to pour this filling in. Oh man, look at there. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. There I go singing again. Like I said, cooking like us make you sing. Make you act like your grandmama. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want all of those pecans in there. All right, folks. We got that mixed in. Spread those pecans around a little bit. Look like they evened out pretty good. Now, folks, what we're going to do, get this in a 350-degree oven for another 30 minutes. After that, we'll bring you back. All right, folks, we're going to take a look at these beef ribs. Ooh, look at how they're looking. See if I can get me a temp on them, see where we at. We at 186, 187. Let's see what this is, 190. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. We getting real close, real close. She's starting to probe nice. So, folks, we're going to just let her ride for a little while longer. But look at that smoke from those smoking pecan pellets. Yes. We're almost there, folks. All right, folks. Hey, I got them teriyaki wings on there now. I got those daggone shotgun shells on there. We're running at about 300 degrees. Should take about an hour. And man, we should have this thing about close to wrapping up. So, folks, after these get done, I'll bring you back. Getting close to Super Bowl Eats. Hey, my YouTube friends and family, I'm back. It's been a journey today getting these recipes together, but we got it done. We got these foods together for the Super Bowl feast. And right here, folks, we got the main attraction is these beef ribs, folks. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut into these and see what we got. Ooh, cutting like butter. Cutting like butter. Oh my goodness, folks. Well, you look at that. Just look at that, people. Look at that. Look at that juice. The fat rendered perfectly. Look at that smoke ring. Yes. So you saw those beef ribs. We got the teriyaki wings. We got the shotgun shells. They came out, look amazing. And right over here, we got the pecan squares. So as I said today, this video was sponsored by Smoking Pecan. Everything you see here has been cooked with a Smoking Pecan product. So folk, what I'm going to do here in a second, I'm going to put together me a little taste test, sample this stuff, and then give you my final thoughts. Hold tight. I'll bring you back. All right, folk, I'm back. Hey, I got a little visitor here. Say hello to the camera. Say hi. Hi. That's Willow. Come here, Khalil. You say hi as well.
Hi.
Hi. Thank y'all for stopping by. I sure do appreciate it. Okay? All right. Let me get back to this test. Hey, when you shoot live video, you never know what can happen, folks. Let's start off with this beef rib, folks. We're going to see how it looks. It is so tender, juicy. Delicious. Uh-huh. Now I'm going to this teriyaki wing. Oh, man. I need to get this beef rib down. It's so good. Teriyaki wing. Another delicious. Now we got the shotgun shell. Oh, wow. The juiciness, the texture, the flavor. Letting that rest 4 hours in the fridge did wonders for softening up the pasta. The flavor. Now on the meat side, we had beef, we had chicken, we had the pasta with the bacon wrap meat mixture. The smoking pecan pellets worked through the flavor profiles of all these different meats perfectly. They complemented each meat, did not overpower the meat. You got a nice subtle smoke flavor. The color, perfect. As far as cooking, I started my pellet grill at 6:30 this morning, 5:30 this morning. I shut it down at 3:30 this afternoon. Still had 55% pellets left. Efficient. They are very efficient. So now, let's get to these pecan squares made with those smoking pecan pecan halves. There we go. Perfectly, not too sweet. The pecans maintain their crunch throughout the process of the cook. So, folks, let me just tell you this. 4 ideas for your Super Bowl party. Get you some of these items right here and try them out for your Super Bowl gathering. You can't go wrong. But the main thing what you want to do, get you some smoking pecan pellets, get you some smoking pecan halves. Their website will be in my description. I really appreciate you watching me on this journey with that smoking pecan smoke in my eyes all day and smelling wonderful. So folks, as I always say, just keep on cooking.